Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between Mighty and Ssak here on Polypoid, a new map for ASL 9 from CasterMuse StarLeague Season 2. There is a link in the description to CasterMuse's YouTube channel. Go ahead, hit the link, hit subscribe because he is doing amazing things for the Brood War scene in 2020. Yes, this is a 2020 replay. If there's 2020 in the title on my channel, it is a 2020 replay. All right, here we go. Top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. His name is Mighty. He's currently playing for Seoul Gaming. He is a Korean player for sure. And in the top left, it is his Korean opponent, the red Terran player, Ssak, who is incredibly terrifying, man. We've been casting games of Saks for some time now. He is a really, really aggressive, really solid Terran player, doing amazing things in StarCraft Tier 2. Used to play for SK Telecom 1 back before Kespa kind of dissolved on us. So you know he's been around the block for a while. He is the more experienced player for sure. But let's not count Mighty out. This is actually from the semifinals of Season 2 for the Star League. So, I mean, he made it this far. He beat several other incredible players. So he cannot be terrible, right? Right. And if you actually look for Mighty on Wikipedia, his profile picture, he is wearing like a 1920s news person outfit. He's wearing the hat. He's got the white shirt, suspenders. He's holding a coat. He's got brown pants on. He has the old-timey camera. It looks like it might be in some kind of a museum, possibly, for this sort of thing. I don't know. I don't know what the background is on this photo, but you should check it out. So just search Mighty on liquipedia.net and you can pull it up for yourself. It made me laugh when I saw it, but I was like, he's serious business. He made it to the semifinals here. This is no joke. We're not messing around here. Anywho, thanks RJB for sending me these replays. RJB really well connected to the Brood War scene. Probably better than I am. I rely on him quite a bit for some certain things here. So thanks RJB. Go ahead and check out his YouTube channel. I'll put a link to him in the description as well. He does fastest map almost exclusively, if not entirely exclusively. I haven't looked at his channel overall for a while, but yeah, fastest map guy. If you love the fastest map, you wish Falcon did more of it, then check out RJB StarCraft. Just search him in YouTube if you don't know where the link is. All right, so nobody proxying. There's no cannon rushing or silliness happening. First Zealot coming out for Mighty. And just building a Marine at home, so nothing too nuts here. Out of Ssak. It is the early game after all. What are you supposed to do? Like, I guess you could proxy barracks if you wanted to be super aggressive, but this Zealot is coming over, and that is not a wall. So I wonder if you can actually throw up a supply depot here and complete the wall off as necessary. Does he see the Zealot coming? He's blocking. He does. He knows because he has an SCV on this side of the map. He saw it coming. He's going to body block with the SCV. And the Zealot getting a couple hits off on the SCV. The Marines well positioned right now, and that is really well defended by Ssak here in the early stages of this map. So nothing too crazy going on, just a little bit of aggression out of Mighty. He has another Zealot coming across the map here. Is he making another Zealot? Good gravy. He's making another Zealot. All right, well, that necessitates a bunker for sure. I'm not sure if it's going to get up, though. I guess there are 4 Marines, 5 Marines now. This looks like a pretty solid defense out of Ssak. The bunker, it doesn't take that long to build, but it's not quite there yet. The Zealots try to get hits on the Marines before they go inside the bunker. And the micro, there we go. Extra shots. That Zealot has a lot of HP and is going to get into the main base and be really, really annoying. SCV getting free shots up. Man, this is beautiful. This is beautiful out of Ssak. He's just absolutely microing to within an inch of his life right now. APM is over 300 for him. This Zealot has a kill, but I mean, that's about all he's going to get. And he's toast. Urgoon shows up. There's actually not enough in the bunker to stop him from running in. Oh, nice snipe. A beautiful snipe on that Marine before he can get inside the bunker there. Well done. Well done by Mighty for sure. So he is, I mean, he's continuing to just continue producing off of one gateway here. He's getting range. He hasn't expanded. What an incredibly aggressive opening here out of Mighty. On the other end here, Ssak is expanding himself to his natural base. He has the bunker. He feels pretty safe with that. He also already has a factory, which he's making a tank out of. Oh, I don't know. I feel like Ssak is in a wonderful position. He's only down 3 workers to Mighty, but he has 2 bases. Now finally warping in a natural base is Mighty back home, but it feels a little bit late as the command center for Ssak is just about done. So yeah, you definitely want the singularity charge upgrade. No problems with that whatsoever. SCV, I'm not sure what you're up to other than you don't want to die to this probe. You can't heal yourself, and the probe definitely can heal itself, so that's an issue. So tank shows up. Production tab says we're not actually getting siege mode, interestingly enough. So tank firing, it can get jumped on and killed by these dragoons, which is never a good thing. But yeah, the repair is here. I mean, this has been a thing for years in StarCraft. Nothing too crazy about the meta at this stage of the game. Anyway, this particular point, we've seen this set up many, many times. Ooh, siege mode is done. Was that in the production tab? Did he cancel it? Or is it done? Where's your siege? I feel like he would have sieged by now if he had siege mode. I swear I saw that in the production tab. Maybe he canceled it. Maybe he said I don't need it. Let's just make more tanks. Let's get +1 vehicle weapons. Let's get an academy for scanning as necessary in case this is like a DT follow-up, because I have no idea what's coming out after this. There's a robotics facility. Additional gateways coming up here too for the Protoss player. And so far, I really got to say, Ssak is looking good as our Terran in this TVP today. Observatory on Zive. These dragoons have a lot of mischief on their mind. They are not here to just kind of stare at the ground at all. They are here to cause some problems. Or at least set up a contain, so a third base is really hard to take. Yeah, so siege mode is on the way now. I swear that was in the production tab and then he canceled it. Maybe he felt like he could spend the resources better elsewhere, additional SCVs or that additional upgrade. One of the two things here. So third base, man, Mighty actually going to take a third base now. Oh, he's going to pull ahead. He's pulling ahead in the economy right now. He has a nice contain set up. Ssak doesn't really want to move out because Terran players, it's hard for them to move out because moving means your tanks are on siege, and that means dragoons can jump on top of them and murder them, and that's terrible. That is a terrible experience for everyone. Starport in production here for the Terran player, obviously. And if you're the Protoss, we've talked about this time and time again. Your recipe for success as an observer comes in here is you want to expand a bunch. You want to make a ton of dragoons and zealots as fast as you can and jump on these tanks and reduce the tank count as much as you can. If the tanks never move out and you can't really jump on them, that's fine. A 2-basing Terran against a 4 to 5 basing, 6-basing Protoss is not going to win. He needs that third base. The third base is really crucial to Ssak winning this game, so I'm not sure how he's gonna do it, to be honest. And I mean, this is not Fighting Spirit, but by golly, it feels a lot like Fighting Spirit, doesn't it? This third base location, this base location up at the top, the 4 corners for the starting positions here. It is a new map. Again, it is Polypoid, which is an interesting name. It reminds me of like polyps and gross stuff from sicknesses for humans. Anyway, we're going to move on from that. Working on Vulture Speed here, not Spider Mines first. That might be our first indication this is a slightly different meta than the one I usually cast for PvT, but I love this timing. That's an 8.5-minute science facility. He's going to start making science vessels before 9 minutes, which is fantastic timing here from Ssak. But this third base looking pretty healthy. It's 52 to 46 workers, 3 base to 2 base. The Terran does not feel comfortable moving out. He's going to try to run with his vultures and try to avoid getting shot, and he does successfully avoid getting shot in the face by these dragoons with their ranged upgrade. By the way, I did just touch down the sound. I wish the increments were smaller in Brood War, where I could knock it down like a little bit instead of big chunks, which is what it is, but that's like a relic of this being from 1998. Anyway, I just felt like I had knocked my microphone down recently from like 65 to 57, and it was a little bit hard to hear me sometimes over the sound of the music and the sound effects, so I knocked those down each one, and I think you can still hear the music. I did some sound tests, recording and listening to on a playback, but if you have any suggestions about the sound, please let me know. I'm doing my best with it. It's a struggle, but Ssak is moving out. That is a lot of dragoons, though. The tanks aren't sieged, and this is the part where you jump on the tanks and you kill them, even if it means you lose these dragoons. The spider mines are a big deterrent, though, and Mighty's going to have to back out there. No. That's not going to happen. Not going to jump on top of the spider mines to get to the tanks. Well placed there by Ssak. Loving that stuff without question here. It means you can take a third base, though. You can probably sneak down this left side and take a third while this aggression is happening, because Mighty does not want to try to deny a base and stop this tank push from happening. This high ground is really important, though, because the tanks can't see up it. Let's do this. There you go. You actually have to get up on top of the high ground to see what's going on. And are we doing this? Are we getting in on top of the tanks here? The Dragoons are firing, trying to take out, again, as many tanks as you can. Maybe don't sacrifice your entire Protoss army, but as many tanks as you can. Yes, you have to sacrifice something to do it. That is the nature of StarCraft. Very rarely are you going to get free kills in this game at the highest levels that it is played. I mean, I guess this is the third base, potentially two on the high ground. Kind of easier to defend, but no gas. And I guess if somebody's making a lot of vultures when you're meching, you don't need a ton of gas, but it would be nice to just take this third, man. You can't see it because it hasn't been explored yet, and that's how this works in StarCraft, but anywho, vultures. Oh, love this spider mine defense right here. It's going to be hard for Zealots or Dragoons to get down here at all without taking one to the face. And that is walled off very nicely. This ramp up to the third base for Mighty with a couple pylons, so vultures can't get through. And I keep thinking this is some kind of a drop, but it's just an observer for Mighty that's been sitting here for like the last 5 minutes. Apparently, Mighty has an observer of his own. He's going to clear out these spider mines, heading over in the direction of Ssak's army. But look at this high ground position. Can you? Yeah, I mean, you can hit this from here. You can hit down this from here. That's brutal. That is exceptionally brutal. Ooh, I see you drop. The vulture drop getting into the third. There's no defense at the third base. Oh, this is bad. Oh, wait. There's, a drop, or a, yeah. A shuttle shows up. The probes evacuate because they can slip through the pylons, but the vultures cannot. And then he tries to get into the main base and get something done. At the very least, that was a little bit of lost mining time, but nice reaction for Mighty to get that back in. Vultures here going after additional probes. Once again, Dragoons present. And this dropship, I think, might just be toast. There might not be a way for him to get out of here, or her, as it is a female pilot saying, in the pipe, 5x5. That's what she likes to say. 2 Zealots and the dropship. Actually, it's fine. There was no attempt to keep the dropship from getting over here, so it gets some more stuff done, some more damage, but not really enough that Mighty needs to worry about it. All right, so 3 bases up here for Ssak at about 12 minutes. Feeling pretty good about himself. He's going for Charon booster upgrade to deal with the Arbiters that we have here from the Protoss player, as obviously he's going for Arbiter play. There's really... You never want to skip Arbiters if the game goes past the, 10-minute mark. I guess it could go past the 10-minute mark a little bit if you kill your opponent with a bunch of Dragoons and Zealots, but if it goes past that point, you want the Arbiters for stasis and for recalls especially. The Cloak is kind of important too, but there's going to be a lot of scans available, as there are 3 ComSat stations here, and soon to be more as the expansions continue for Ssak. So it's 195 to 146 supply. If you're maxed out, if you're Mighty, you know what? It's time to take some bad trades. Not bad trades per se, but trades that they feel bad in the moment, but you kind of have to do it. Because if you allow the Terran player to get maxed out, he's impossible to deal with. So here we go. We're marching up the ramp. We got Dragoons trying to focus down the science vessels a little bit, trying to jump on top of the tanks. There we go. Tanks going down. Spider-Mine's getting dragged into tanks as well to help take them down. Nice stasis there on 3 of the tanks and an SCV and a Vulture. The backside attack with the Zealots actually going to take down 1 more siege tank. The Zealot count, though, is actually enough. The Vulture count too low. Spider-Mine's not doing much of anything. And the third base does get wiped out. This is the kind of engagement that is so scary to try and do if you're the Protoss player against a Terran, but Mighty sacked up, I guess, to take a word from his opponent here. Ssak went up there, shut it down, and forced a lot of mining to stop, killed a ton of tanks. Look at the tank count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 tanks instead of the 15 there were just a minute ago. And yeah, the army going home isn't very big, but that's the trades you got to make if you're going to beat a Terran player, again, who is Ssak. 3:58 p.m. for Ssak. 3:30 for Mighty right now. And I can't get that picture of a Mighty out of my head. He just looks, I don't know. He looks like an innocent little newsboy. It's so, check it out. Liquipedia.com. Or .net, I'm sorry. TL.net, I think, works too. They did do a bit of an alias on their domain a while ago. That's kind of cool. I don't know what it is, but it's cool. Vultures sharking around down to the south, trying to see if there's a base. Maybe a nice snipe on that probe. 67 to 63 workers right now. I do like that there's this barracks up this way to watch for incoming shuttles, or arbiters as they may be. This engineering bay providing the same benefit, maybe scouting out ahead to a potential fourth base for the Terran player. Recall is being researched for Mighty at this very moment as we are not speaking to each other exactly, but I'm talking to you and you're listening. As always, please comment on my videos. Please give them a like. It just helps the algorithm like me on YouTube more, and I appreciate it a lot. I feel like I'm getting better on my casting. I do. I will go back and watch my earlier casts in Brood War, and it's like, oh. First of all, everything is this zoom level, like the whole time, because that's the level Brood War's played at. And I was like, maybe that's what, that's what the old zoom level was in Brood War, but in Remastered, you can do this. So make use of it. So I'm doing a lot better at that, obviously. And then I just feel like I'm a little bit better at predicting strategies and knowing what's good against what and how things will go based on how the game is happening. Anyway, was that a... I feel like that was an Arbiter attempt, but it died. I don't think anything recalled. The one thing I can always work on, though, is minimap awareness. For sure. Trying to do my best with that today. I don't think I missed anything, but I'm sure I'll get some comments saying that you missed something, Falcon. And yes, that is just the nature of trying to solo cast without a co-caster and not having a dedicated observer, which most professional tournaments try to have 3 people at least on every game. Going again, though. I don't know about this one from Mighty. I don't see this one functioning all that well. There's still a bunch of tanks remaining. There's no flank attack happening. But look at him. This is what you have to do. Arbiter getting sniped off there. You gotta try to take down as many tanks as you can, but you're just walking the delicate balance of, if I lose my entire army here and he still has like 15 tanks, he can push me and kill me, so you gotta watch out for that. So he doesn't go up the ramp. Mighty just showing some really, really nice judgment in this game so far. I think he's made some right decisions of when to attack and when to pull back against Ssak. 5th base coming up for Mighty, as again, I've talked about this so many times. This is how you do. You have to expand a million times. Ssak is coming in. He wants to suck your blood. I'm not implying he's a vampire, but he wants Protoss blood right now. He doesn't... Again, look at this tank count. This tank count could be like triple. Well, double what it is right now, if not for that earlier attack by Mighty. That was so important. It really was. Trying to set up tanks along the edges here to fire across the positions where it's really hard for the Protoss to dislodge you. Zealots charging on in. Defensive Matrix up on that tank right there. Protoss is just, again, willing to sacrifice a lot here. Trying to get through the Vulture line. Trying to get back to the tanks with the Zealots. And a couple Zealots get back there, kind of providing a little bit of some Zealot bomb action as the friendly fire splash from the fellow tanks causes problems for their ranks. That was an accidental rhyme. Just call me Dr. Seuss accidentally, I suppose. Observers getting sniped out of the sky. Science is providing that detection. Coming in again with another round of Dragoons, and you know what? More tanks are going to go down. I really feel like Mighty is doing well here, but then again, not continuing to push if he doesn't need to. Falling back. He's got reinforcing Zealots in here all the time. 10 Zealots in production. He recognizes the Vulture count is not very high. Zealots are going to be very good against this particular composition, especially considering they do have the +2 attack. +2 is also done on the attack for the mech for Ssak. I've not been paying attention to the upgrades as much as I should, but we're trying to get there. Trying to get there. Nice stasis, but the Arbiter does get sniped by the multitude of Goliaths. There are 7 here, including the 3 that got stasis. 163 to 153 supply. This is a good match. This is such a good match. Zealots jumping on top of the tanks, bypassing the Goliaths entirely, just ignoring their attacks, even though Goliath damage is actually pretty good. But look at this, just taking the high ground for himself, jumping on top of everything. Again, trying to hit the science vessels where possible. And, oh, that one escapes with all of 7 HP, but the tanks are gone. And that was a decisive victory for Mighty. It's only Vultures and a couple tanks for Ssak. Mighty is playing so well right now. And look at the response here from Ssak. You're just going to make Zealots? All right, I'm just going to make Vultures. I'm going to kill all of your Zealots because I do the right kind of damage to take them down. Nice. Well done. Zealot up at the top here as a 12 o'clock has been taken by Ssak. Probably should be going after SCVs. And he has that thought a little bit too late, and then Vulture track him down and murder him. Not in cold blood exactly, but it was pretty one-sided. Bottom right base being taken by Mighty, doing a great job expanding. He's on about 70 workers. I don't know that he needs to get any more than that necessarily, but having additional bases for his workers to go to when his bases get mined out is the whole key to the game right now. Is this enough? This is a lot of Vultures. Is this enough cannons? I was going to say, was there an evacuation? Maybe a premature Maynard transfer down here to the bottom right for that 6th base. The Vultures don't want to go in there. There's only 3 cannons, man. I think you could probably wipe out every one of these Protoss probes. Maybe get into this base, too. I guess there was a Dragoon holding the ramp, though. Thought of beforehand by Mighty. All right, how's that tank count looking? Ssak, not great. Can I, based on my review here, I feel like your tank count is not great. You have 6 of them. They're all protecting your 12 o'clock. Like, all of them are protecting your 12, except for these 2 that just came out of factories right now. You're making no tanks at the moment. I don't know about this, Ssak. I feel like you need more tanks if you're going to win this. The games that I see where Terran beats Protoss, he has like 37 tanks. I guess the problem is you can't have 37 tanks because, well, frankly, Mighty's been doing a great job murdering your tanks. Vulture's actually going for a surround on these Dragoons. An advantage Dragoons have is they can kite, but look at this. This is insane. This is some confident or perhaps desperate play out of Ssak. Attacking that large of a group of Dragoons with that many Vultures. He killed a bunch. He lost some Vultures in the process, but he's trying to get that Dragoon count just exactly like Mighty is trying to keep that tank count low. Zealot's trying to see, is there a base down here we can possibly murder? No. All right, thank goodness. Ssak has not expanded that hard yet. It's a 194 to 155 supply. I mean, Mighty's just been able to get back up to maxed over and over again. And I'm not entirely sure that Ssak has spent much time at, maxed at all today, actually. Go, go. So yeah, check out the CasterMuse YouTube channel. There's a link in the description. He's the one who put on this tournament. He provided the cash prize, I believe, for these players and incentivized them to come out and play. And thanks again to RJB for giving me these replays. He was able to access them himself. So again, I don't believe these were cast in English. So I might be the first person to cast these in English. I don't know if there's somebody else out there. Let me know, but I think I might be the only one. So tell your friends, if you want to see 2020 StarCraft action from the CasterMuse StarLeague, cast in English, come to the Falcon Paladin channel. 'Tis a good place to be. I will try to make you feel at home. Alright, well, Sakk's getting up there, 176 total supply. His tank count is getting healthier and more intimidating. Obviously, Zealot recall on the left side with a bunch of Dragoons is going to wipe out this 9 o'clock base. For Ssak, which is really bad. It's going to trigger a big attack from him, as he's been losing some stuff here. That base is gone. He effectively has 2 mining bases right now. Good stasis on the top of the ramp here. Just to slow it down, look at that bank from Mighty. 3,900 compared to Sakk's 900, 500. This is looking pretty good. Mighty can continue to produce this stuff, continue to replace his units as they die, and I'm not sure that Ssak can afford to do so. After losing that base, here we go, marching on in with his superior army a second ago, but he is losing Zealots fast. He's losing Dragoons. The stasis on the Vultures, interestingly enough, allowing the Zealots to get more work done here. Tank count continuing to plummet. He unsieges his tanks to avoid the Zealot bomb scenario. But look at this, continued reinforcements coming in. Defender's advantage is definitely kicking in here from Mighty. Nice EMP on that Arbiter. The other Arbiters don't have much energy. This one can do something in a minute here. But Arbiter providing damage from the high ground to the low ground, or from the sky to the ground. As nothing here can shoot up, the Arbiters can have a great time killing whatever. Until at least, you know, this one Goliath shows up, and then the Arbiters have to flee because Goliath and Tier are some of the best in the entire game. Another race coming up for Mighty down south. This is just, if this push doesn't work, and I don't see how it works, Ssak is in an enormous amount of trouble here. I'm looking at it. It's not feeling great. High ground is held by Ssak, though. Mighty kind of trying to come around from a different angle. He doesn't want to attack this head on because, again, these are now +2, +1 tanks. Surprised he doesn't have +3 attack yet. Seems like a neglectful thing. Unfortunately, trying to dart in with the vultures. No, not taking the bait is Mighty there. Where's the... this army wants to come around from the backside, but the spider mines are going to make that a little bit hard. What a great game this is. Mighty marching down the ramp with his zealots coming from the south side. Flank attacks are so good against Terran especially. Is it enough, though? I don't know, man. 164 to 125 supply in favor of Mighty. He's producing 7 zealots and 6 dragoons at a time, while only 3 siege tanks at a time are in production right now from Ssak, but he still has this high ground. He is very Obi-Wanning it at the moment. Just trying to hold the Arbiters in front to get what damage they can off on this army. Very patiently gathering his forces. Nothing really to the south here at all, actually, and maybe sending a tank up to break through. I guess that base is mined out. I'm not sure it matters all that much. Arbiter sniped down by a single Goliath. His buddy gets stasis for his efforts. This contain is interesting, I gotta say, from Ssak, but he is down by about 60 supply if we look at it. He hasn't reestablished his 9 o'clock. This is a win now or die exchange. This is the battle we're looking at right now. Another stasis, beautiful stasis, catching 6 of the vultures. And the zealots come in. They recognize the vulture count. The 3 active vultures, not necessarily going to be enough for all of these zealots that are jumping on top of the tanks right now. Arbiter up top providing damage. Arbiter providing cloak. The science vessel decloaking everything though at the same time. Look at the beautiful stasis picture, and Ssak leaves the game. Mighty has taken the win here in 26 minutes and 43 seconds. What a beautiful, beautiful game today out of the Protoss player. He did what he needed to do. Look at this. He's on 7 bases. 6 bases. Yeah, this is the 7th if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 total bases. Keeps Ssak to 3 bases for a majority of the game. Wipes this one out. Does damage at the 12 o'clock too. Even there's a zealot up there right now that he kind of snuck up this way, but I guess it didn't really matter because the base was dead. Or the army was dead. And look at how much stasis there is. Look at it. That's beautiful. That is beautiful stasis for Mighty. And then the number of times he engaged with the tanks in situations where it was really scary to do so, but he did it in order to keep that tank count low. If there are, you know, I mean, how many tanks are here right now? 1, 2, it's like 4 tanks right now. They're all stasis, 5, 6. I'm just saying, if there were flash level tanks here, 30 tanks, because nothing stops Ssak from making 30 tanks, you can't even engage that with zealots. They just get evaporated before they get close enough to actually do any damage to those guys. So well done. Mighty had a game plan. He enacted it like a boss. And let's check out that final score. 188,000 points for Ssak, 203,000 points for Mighty. Produced, killed, and losses fairly even when it comes right down to it here. 9 Terran buildings razed and didn't lose any buildings at all that game, which is kind of a problem for Ssak. And again, the accomplishments here of Mighty, there are not many. He is young. He's, oh, by the way, did I not mention he's 21 years old? So he's incredibly young in StarCraft terms. The younger generation, man, they're coming. They're coming to take these crowns. They're coming to win these ASLs and these KSLs and whatever tournaments else there will be when they get older. But yeah, Mighty ended up just spending a bunch more in overall resources here, largely in zealots, I'd say, but the rest of it was about the same. So great job by Mighty. I want to cast more of his, and I think I will. I think I definitely will. But as far as today, that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.